lovelies, welcome back. It's your girl Katie here, and I am back. And that is super weird to say because it has been so long since I've actually filmed a video like this. I know I have posted like a couple of TikTok videos on my YouTube page that I had posted on TikTok, and I just posted on YouTube just to try to keep my channel somewhat active. But yeah, I am back. And in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys kind of a life update. I asked you guys if you wanted me to just jump right back into posting videos of what I normally posted or give you guys an update, and some of you guys wanted an update, so that is what today's video is going to be. I'm going to give you guys an update on where I have been for the last 5 months. It's a lot, so go grab a snack, go grab a drink, get ready for kind of a long video. I don't know. I actually don't know how long this video is going to be, but knowing how I ramble, it'll probably be a long one. But yeah, go grab a snack, go grab a drink, and let's hang out together. So, I believe the last video I posted, oh my gosh, it's been so long. Not the TikToks, we're not counting the TikToks. I'm talking about my actual, like, last upload of like a real YouTube video. Gosh, how long ago has that been? Let me look. Hold on a second. Okay, so my last video was a January Shop My Stash video. Yes. If you guys hear noises, yes, my little baby girl is in the room with me, and I do plan on showing you guys her in a minute. But anyways, my last video was a January Shop My Stash. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. What's new? Yeah, that was 5 months ago. So let's do a little update. I will go ahead and show you guys baby girl because that last video I was pregnant with her. That's one of the updates. I gave birth to a baby girl. So let me hold on just a second. Let me introduce you to baby Violet. Say hello. Say hi. Of course she can't talk yet, but this is my little bundle of joy, my little bundle that I gave birth to. But yeah, this is baby Violet. So now that you guys have officially met, this is what I've been busy with for the last 5 months. Well, partially, not only, but yeah, she's so cute. I love her so much. All right, I'm gonna put her back down so that she can go back to what she was doing, which was being cute, because that's what she always does. But anyways, we'll see how far I get into this video before I need to go lay her down for a nap, because it's getting to be that time. Anyways, so I was pregnant. This was the last video I posted. I was pregnant at the time. So let's talk about my birth experience. Alright, so I went into labor in January. I was around 41 weeks, I think. I think I'd just gotten to 41 weeks. So I was in the normal range for a first-time mom especially. Me and my husband had discussed what we were going to do for our birth plan. And we had both decided upon, you're going to hear noise in the background. She has her little rattle and she's playing with it. So that's what that noise is. Anyways, we had both agreed to have a home birth. Home birth is a very big thing in his family, and that was totally new to me. My mom had hospital births with all of us kids. Like on my side of the family, it was hospital births. That's all I've ever known was hospital births. So I agreed to do a home birth, but I did say that I wanted a midwife because first time, I don't know what I'm getting into. I don't know what I'm doing. So we agreed upon a midwife, and the day came. Midwife showed up. I was in labor. It was a decent long labor. I think it was like 18 hours total for the labor, which is not by any means the longest labor out there. I've heard stories of women being in labor for 40 hours, and oh my goodness, hats off to you, because I don't know how people do that. Don't understand it. Anyways, I attempted to give birth at home with my midwife, and for whatever reason, I don't know, God had different plans for us, because that is not what happened. I ended up going to the hospital because she wouldn't come out. I pushed and pushed and pushed, and for whatever reason, she just would not come out. I don't really have an explanation for it. I have theories, of course, of what might have happened, but that wasn't the important thing. Anyways, I made the decision, because that is one nice thing about my midwife and things. They never pressured me or anything to not go to the hospital. They are very much, whatever you decide, we support. So I'm the one that made the call to go to the hospital, because I felt like something just wasn't working with how much I was pushing, and for how long. I think I pushed for a total of 2 to 3 hours, and that was like, I'm giving it all. Like, I am pushing, and she is just not coming out. So I just felt like she just wasn't going to come out that way. I don't know why. Anyways, so I opted to go to the hospital, and I'd made the decision to have a C-section, because at this point of pushing for so long and for how hard I was pushing, I was exhausted, and I could have gotten an epidural and tried to push her out, but I don't know, I had a feeling that she just was not going to come out the way that she should. So I made the decision to get a C-section, and that was the start of a very long journey for me. I feel like that decision just led me down a path, and it wasn't necessarily like a bad path, but it was just the start of a very long 5 months, or 4 technically. Anyways, so got the C-section, baby girl came out, she's healthy, she's fine, everything was going really well. They put me in the room to start recovery. The actual C-section was actually really quite simple. I didn't really have, I think the only thing that was maybe a bit difficult was them giving me I think it's anesthesia. I didn't actually know much about C-sections. You may see her foot in the background. I think I saw her foot. But I didn't know anything about C-sections aside from that they cut you open and remove the baby. I didn't really know what went into it. But basically, if you've never had one, they have to give you this special shot or thing in your back to basically paralyze you from the waist down. So basically, from where they would have to cut you open down, they give you something to where you can't feel anything. So basically, you can't move, you can't feel your legs, nothing like that. So because I have slight scoliosis, they were having a really hard time finding where my spine was, I guess. So it did take over an hour for them to finally give me that, whatever you want to call it, shot, needle, put the needle in, give me the anesthesia. I don't know. Honestly, that day is a really big blur for me. But anyways, they finally did it. They laid me down, they got her out, gave birth. I still call it a birth because she still came out of me, even though it wasn't the traditional birth. It was still a birth, in my opinion. So she came out, and everything was hunky-dory. She's fine, she's healthy. She was here finally. I was exhausted. They got us into recovery, and I did kind of have somewhat of a complication after the C-section, but not the one that you would think. So okay, forgive me, I do not know all the medical terms and stuff. I forget a lot of them. But basically, I had to stay in the hospital and get transferred to the cardiologist, I think is what they call it, cardiology section of the hospital because I think it was honestly just all the stress of what my body had been through with the long labor, with the long pushing. I was severely, I'm pretty sure, dehydrated. I wasn't able to keep food down during labor, so I was just to the point of exhaustion. And then on top of that, then I had a C-section, which is a major surgery. So I think my body honestly just went into shock and just was exhausted, just a mixture of things. But anyways, my heart rate just went up, and they were monitoring me, and then they started getting really worried because my heart rate was going up and it kept going up and it was not coming back down. So they had to transfer me to the cardiologist section of the hospital because my heart rate was, I think, got up to like 190 and was just not coming down. So they were very concerned for me. That's right, baby girl. So they had to transfer me, and they had to put me on this IV medicine thing to finally get my heart rate down. I believe I was in the hospital, I want to say, for about 2 or 3 days, I want to say, before I finally got released. But they did get my heart rate down, thankfully, and then I was sent home to start recovery from the C-section. Thankfully, there's nothing wrong with my heart. Like I said, I believe it was just because of all the stress that my body had been through. I think it would just kind of set my body into shock, and it was just a thing. But anyways, so got home, was super happy to be out of the hospital because honestly that was just such a stressful 2 or 3 days for me, because here I was, a new mom. I had just given birth, and I don't blame the hospital staff or anything like that, but it was just a really sucky situation for me because of my heart rate skyrocketing. They were all really panicky about me because my heart rate was going up, and like, that's understandable. That is very concerning. But I feel like I kind of got, I don't know, I kept getting transferred to different rooms, and like, I didn't have the same staff that I had during the C-section and stuff, and so I kind of got pushed out of the maternity ward, so to say, and I wasn't given the care that you normally would get. You see her back there? She is just on a roll. She's literally been learning how to roll, so I put her in one spot and she ends up somewhere else. But she's okay. Anyways, I probably look like a terrible mom. She's fine, but she just wants to move around. You can sit right there. There you go. There you back down. Anyways, so like, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like those first few days with your newborn is very important, and I didn't really get that with her. They had me hooked up to like 2 IVs, I had machines on me, I had wires all over me to monitor my heart rate. I was not really able to care for her, to breastfeed her, to really hold her much during those first 2 to 3 days because of the situation. And that was really hard because I think, I don't know, when I got home, I felt really disconnected from her for a bit. It took a while to get over that. It also made breastfeeding really, really hard because I mean, this not for everybody, but for me personally, I feel like those first few days are really important to start establishing breastfeeding. And it was just really hard because we had to start giving her formula and stuff. I believe my body kind of got out of sync with her, so I ran into a supply issue. It took us a while to start nursing, and when I finally got the hang of it, or I thought I was getting the hang of it, you know, we were getting that connection there, I then found out that I had a supply issue because she was not gaining weight. She was in fact losing weight. So that was another really tough time for me because I felt like I was failing her because I was not giving her enough. So then I had to start supplementing with formula, and I don't know, it was just super stressful, and especially if if you've ever given birth before, postpartum hormones are no joke. They make you go crazy brain sometimes. I'm gonna have to take a little break because she needs a nap, but I will be back. Alright, I'm back. Baby girl is asleep. Alright, so where was I? Okay, I think I was talking about breastfeeding. Okay, so yeah, I had a lot of guilt from, not producing enough, especially because she was losing weight. That was a big guilt on me. I felt horrible. I felt like I was starving my baby. Anyways, so I started supplementing with formula as I was trying to get my supply up, but if you've ever had a low supply, and if you've gotten through that, please tell me how you did it, because I was stressing out, which is not a good thing, because if anything, that stress will actually affect your supply as well. Anyways, I made the decision because to get your supply up, you basically have to either take supplements, stay hydrated, pump a lot to get your supply up, and that's what I was trying to do. I'd gotten some supplements. I was trying to pump every 2 hours for at least 30 minutes, and I was not handling that very well because I was recovering from a C-section. I was taking care of a new baby, adjusting to being a mom. At some point, I just kind of made the decision. I was like, you know what, I'm not sure breastfeeding is for me, because I'm barely spending time with my baby, because I'd feed her, take care of her, change her, put her back down to sleep, because newborns sleep a lot in the beginning, and then I would start pumping. And yeah, that was just basically the cycle. She'd wake up, I'd feed her, change her, put her back to bed, pump. And it was just this constant loop, and it was starting to become a lot for me. So I decided to just go ahead and just formula feed her, only because it didn't seem like the pumping was helping, and if anything, it was just stressing me out a lot. And I just came to the realization I'm not enjoying, this, my baby, basically. Like, I'm stressed out. I don't feel like I'm connecting with her. It was just a lot. And looking back at it, it was just a lot. I was just going through a lot. I think I could have handled it better now if I was in the right mental state, but at the time, I was just so frazzled. And if I had known what I know now, then I would have definitely made a little bit different decisions. But at the time, I thought it was just me. I'm not making enough. I'm not working right. Anyway, so I decided to just formula feed only and let my supply go. But after I decided to do that, I ended up in the ER. I woke up one night, and I'd had this pain before during my pregnancy, but I didn't know what it was. I thought it was just a weird pregnancy thing. But I had this pain in my back, and it was painful. It's like, I want to say it felt like I was just back in labor again, because I had horrible back labor when I labored. I think that was honestly part of the problem why I don't feel like I was able to push her out right, was because of the back labor. It's horrible. If you've ever had it, it's horrible. I do not wish that on my worst enemy. But anyway, so I had this pain, and at first I didn't know what it was. It kind of came and then it went. I was like, oh my gosh, what was that? It was not like it just came for a second and went. No, I was up all night with it. And then in the morning, it just kind of went away. But I decided to go to the doctor, because I was like, what is that? That doesn't seem normal. But anyways, I went to the doctor before I went to the ER. So I went to the doctor. My mother-in-law had said that she thought it might be a gallbladder attack, and I did not know anything about gallbladder stuff. But she was like, that sounds like a gallbladder attack, because she frequently will have gallbladder attacks. And so I was like, ooh, okay. So I went to get checked, and then my doctor had scheduled me to get an ultrasound down. An ultrasound? Is that he said? Anyways, you know what I mean. Done. And I was waiting to get scheduled for that, but before that, like the very next day, I had the pain again, and it was way worse. So I decided to go to the ER, because I was like, something ain't right. Something's wrong here. This hurts a lot. So I went to the emergency room. They checked me out, had an ultrasound down on me, and turns out, I guess I had a gallstone stuck somewhere in me along the lines, and it had made my gallbladder become infected. So they had to remove my gallbladder. And mind you, this was like not even a month after I had my C-section. I think I was mostly healed up, but I wasn't completely healed up because it takes a while for a C-section to heal up. So I think it had maybe been like almost 6 weeks. So I guess it had been maybe a month, but yeah, a little over a month. I'll take that back. It was over a month. A little over a month. So yeah, so they had to put me in a room. I had to wait for the next opening to have surgery done, and yeah, so I was in the hospital for 4 days, waiting for them to, because I wasn't technically like an emergency, like they were monitoring me and giving me antibiotics and stuff. I think they were, yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. But it wasn't like gonna rupture or anything. It was just, it was infected and it needed to go. Like, they told me that there was not any way to save it, that once it's infected you basically can't do anything about it. But anyways, so they removed it. The surgery went fine. I started recovery from that. I went home. I actually got to go home the same day that they actually operated me on. Yeah, surgeries have come a very long way because, you know, surgeries are scary to me, in my opinion. But it's not like they cut me open, you know, like fully open. Like, now they do like these little incisions. Like, I had like 5 incisions, which technically they were only supposed to do 3, but I guess something must have happened and they had to do 5 because they like stick cameras in you. And they like just reach in, pull it out, cut it, and pull it out, basically. So it's not as intrusive as like back in the day when they would have to cut you open, I guess. So surgeries have definitely come a long way, and I was thankful for that because the recovery from the gallbladder was really not that bad, not compared to like the C-section. Like, C-section, I was barely able to move around for like a week. The gallbladder, I was sore and stuff, and I had to be careful, but it wasn't as bad. Anyways, so 2 weeks have passed. I'm thinking, thank goodness, you know, that's all behind me. The worst, I mean, it can't get any worse than that, you know. And then one night, I was getting ready for bed. It always happens at night, like super late at night. I don't know why. I was getting ready for bed, and I was sitting there, and I was like, all of a sudden, I felt that pain again. I was like, I was like, stop, no. No. I must be dreaming. I must be not feeling right, because like there's no way I'm having the same pain that I had when my gallbladder was inflamed. I was like, because I don't have a gallbladder, what can be causing this pain? So I woke up my husband and I was like, guess what? We're going back to the ER. And he was like, no. I was like, yes we are. So we packed up baby girl, packed myself up. I packed myself a bag because I was like, I have a feeling that we're in for another fun time. I went back, and it turns out they had missed a gallstone. There was a gallstone stuck somewhere that they had missed, and they had to remove it. Thankfully, I didn't have to actually be cut open again. Thankfully. They did this SCOPy thing, I think it's called. I don't know. I'm telling you, I don't know the terms for things, but basically they had to go down. They did still have to knock me out. They had to put me under. But they went through my throat with the camera and something, and they somehow able to pull it out. I don't know how that works, but that's what they did. So thankfully they didn't have to cut me open, but they did remove it after another 4 days in the hospital, and then them thinking that I had passed the stone, which I didn't. But thankfully they still scheduled me to get looked at. It worked out in the end, but it was very frustrating time in the hospital again. But yeah, so I've had enough time in the hospital, I think, to last me a very long time. Thankfully, it all worked out. I'm very thankful, and looking back at it, I'm thankful to God and blessed that things worked out really well. Like I said, like I mentioned before, I had that pain during my pregnancy. I think I want to say that I was like 8 months along. Maybe. I wasn't full term yet, I know that. But I had that pain, that gallbladder pain that I did not know was a gallbladder pain. Oh my gosh, can't talk. So yeah, so looking back at it, I'm super thankful that it worked out the way it did because, I don't know, there's always two ways to look at such situation. For me, I choose to look at it in a thankful way because, honestly, if my gallbladder had gotten infected while I was still pregnant, they probably would have had to induce me or something to make me give birth early because they can't operate like they did on a pregnant lady. So I'm very thankful that that all happened after I gave birth and not before. So I feel like God definitely did have his hand in that and prevented that from happening sooner. I mean, sure, people can look at it and be like, well, why'd your gallbladder get infected in the first place, you know? But I'm not going to look at it that way because it just doesn't seem right to me. I'm just going to be thankful that it worked out the way it did and that I'm okay. So, yeah, so that's basically, that's the big part of what I've been up to for the past 4 months. I did have to go in and get checked out a couple of times at the doctor, but not for anything really major, thankfully. I did start having some heart palpitations, I think is what they call them, and I was really concerned about that because of my experience with the C-section and my heart rate going up. I've been super conscious of my heart rate now, probably a little more than I should. Still working on that, working on not being so stressed, but I went in just to be on the safe side, and she had my thyroid checked out, or first she checked my iron levels because she's like, you might be just low on iron, so we had that checked out and that was fine. But then she checked my thyroid and she said I have hyperthyroidism, but I think she technically diagnosed me with Graves' disease, which is an autoimmune disease, but I'm not too concerned about that because, bear with me. So I looked into it. I did my own research because I'm getting good at that apparently. But anyways, I looked into it, and thyroid issues usually stem from certain things like a hormone imbalance can cause your thyroid to really become out of whack. If you're low, I think on iodine, I think is the one, don't quote me on this. There's this lady on TikTok called Barbara O'Neill, I think is her name, and I really like her stuff. She's a lady that talks, I think she's a nurse. Used to be a nurse. I don't know if she still is, don't quote me on this. Anyways, she talks about healing yourself with just natural ways. I'm big on the whole, if it can be done naturally, that's the path I'm going to try to go down, instead of, I'm not against the medical stuff. I mean, I'm not judging on anybody who does choose that, but for me personally, I just feel like if I can get away from medicine, the man-made stuff, then that's the path I'm going to choose to go down first. I'm open to going down the medicine route if nothing else is working, but I'm going to try to go as natural as possible first. Anyways, so I started looking into it. Hormones is one big one that can throw off your thyroid. Just, it's honestly a lot of things. It could be a lack of sleep, stress, which is one that I think was a very big trigger for my thyroid problem that I had. So I chose to go, because my doctor told me, she's like, okay, this is your options. We can put you on medication. I can refer you to somebody who does thyroid stuff, and they will probably tell you that you can either take stuff to basically damage your thyroid, to make it stop being so hyper, or they can remove it. So my options were medication, damage the thyroid, or remove it. And I was like, those are not anything that I want to do, because medication doesn't fix the issue. It just controls the symptoms. It controls your thyroid, which is not bad stuff, but for me personally, I just feel like my thyroid being out of whack is a sign that something is going on internally with myself, either with myself on a spiritual base. I'm trying not to be preachy to y'all, but I am just telling you my experience and my thought process. Again, stuff that I talk about me personally, you guys do you, okay? Like, I'm not trying to persuade you to do anything or make choices based off of what I do. I'm just sharing my experience. But for me personally, I saw it as a sign of something was going on with me internally. I feel like God was trying to get my attention on something, and this last thyroid thing, I feel like he was definitely trying to tell me that I needed to stop stressing so much, because stress is not good for the body. I've always known that, but me and stress and worry, we're too close and we need to not be close. So I think it was more of a wake-up call for me that I really needed to get my stress and worry under control. In a way, I needed to stop worrying and stop stressing over stuff, because I was a stressor, a really bad stressor, like obsessive stressing. I feel like I had almost an addiction to stress. It was not healthy, and those past 4 months were riddled with stress and worry. I was stressed about the new baby. I was stressed about my health problems, like just everything. So I feel like it was a wake-up call. So I've definitely been working on my stress. I haven't been back to the doctor yet, but I've noticed that my heart rate has gone back down. Like, it wasn't bad. Like, it was, I think, my mom bought me, because she worried about me. My mom bought me this heart rate monitor thing. Like, she got me a cuff that I could check my heart rate and blood pressure on, and then she got me, like, one of those little finger heart rate monitors that you just slip your finger in there and it reads it. So I was monitoring myself with those, and it didn't really ever get, like, over 130, I think. It was getting kind of high, but there's also a lot of other things going on in my life at the time that was causing me to be stressed, and I think it was just that. But my heart rate is back down to, like, I want to say, like, between, like, 180 and 190, give or take. So it's not out of the normal range. So, yeah. So I just had to kind of learn to breathe, learn to not stress over things, and I think that has helped out my thyroid a lot. Like I said, I haven't been back to the doctor to, like, get it officially, like, checked and see, like, oh, is it gone? Am I better? It's just more of it's a building of faith thing for me. I don't have any, like, major symptoms or anything. Obviously, if I was having, like, major issues, then I would go and get checked and then probably make a decision based off of that stuff, but I've been doing really well. I feel good, I feel the best I have in about 4 months, so that's saying a lot, because I feel like I've been through a little bit this year. This year has had a bit of a rough start, but I'm getting through it. By the grace of God, honestly. And I don't say that, like, necessarily in a joking way. I'm serious. But yeah, so I think the last thing that was kind of a major thing for me is I did recently get baptized, which was really exciting for me. I don't know, I felt the need I needed to be delivered from a lot of stuff, just from past things, past burdens that I've put on myself. I just felt like I needed to be baptized, and it's just one of those things that I can't necessarily explain, because it's just something in me, and I don't really need to explain it. But yeah, so I got baptized, which is super exciting. Again, I'm not really trying to be preachy, but I'm just letting you guys know what I've been up to. But yeah, I do feel like that helped a lot. Just kind of a release for me from a lot of things that I feel like I've been carrying for a long time, and I feel a lot better. So yeah, that has been what I've been up to these past few months. This is yeah, it was a lot, but I'm glad to say that that is all in the past now. I've gotten through it. Me and baby girl and my husband were all doing really well. Baby girl especially. I'm still, to this day, struggling with stress and stuff, but I'm trying not to worry about things, but having a baby, for anybody that hasn't experienced that yet, it's a whole new thing. I still have daily struggles with just trying not to stress over things when it comes to her. Like, the formula journey has not been a bad one, but it's definitely been different. I'm gonna have to switch her formula up because I think she's kind of built up an allergy to the formula that I have her on, which I've read is can be a thing, especially when it comes to like cow milk based formulas, which is what a lot of formulas are made out of. But babies can develop an allergy to the cow milk, which shouldn't be a surprise to me. I should have done a little more research. I didn't realize that there was a difference really from formulas. I liked the formula I had her on and it worked for a long time, but now, like I said, I think she's developed kind of an allergy to it, so I'm going to switch her now to a goat milk based formula that I'm excited to get her started on. I'm just trying to use up, she's not having like a severe allergic reaction, it's just kind of like, you could just tell that sometimes it upsets her tummy a little bit, but I am starting her on solids and that has helped her a lot because she's getting to that age where she can start solids now, which has been a big help. But I still, like, she's got a little bit of eczema, I think is what it's called. Is that called? Yeah, eczema. And that can be kind of another sign of an allergy, so I'm going to work on getting her switched to another formula. But that's one thing that I was kind of stressing over because I was like, oh, why is she having issues with this, but I've done a lot of research and I haven't ever taken her to the, aside from like from her appointments after birth, I haven't really taken her to a pediatric child doctor. I forget what they're called. Pediatrician? Don't quote me on that. Listen, I tell you, the medical terms, I get them all confused. But a baby doctor. I'll just call it a baby doctor. I haven't technically taken her to one yet. I need to find one. But the issues that we've had are not been like ones that I couldn't handle myself. If there was at any time that I felt like, no, I can't handle this, if there was something serious, I would have taken her in, of course. But it's just been little things that I've just been learning to deal with. But she's good. She's healthy. She's fine, just aside from a little bit of the skin stuff right now that I think I've got a handle on. It's starting to go away. It just doesn't look pretty. It's just one of those things you're like, why is this happening? How do I fix it, kind of thing. Man, if babies came with like a freaking manual, that would have been great, of like how to figure out everything. Just be like, go down to this section, your baby's exhibiting these things, go down here, this is the answer to it. That would have been great, but it's not like that. That would be too simple, I guess, too easy. But anyways, so that's what I've been up to. That is my life update. It's probably a lot. This is hopefully not going to be a horribly long video, but it may be a bit long. So thank you if you've made it all the way to this point. I appreciate it. But yeah, so let me think. Okay, so in terms of my YouTube channel, things are probably going to be a little bit different. Like, obviously the background is different than what I normally do, and this may be my new background. I'm just in my closet. I've got my vanity in my background. This may be the new background because honestly, I don't know, I'm kind of more in a chill type of vibe going on here. Like, I would just want it to be kind of like a cozy background now, not so much aesthetically pleasing. Is that how you say that? I don't know. Like, before I had like an actual like setup and everything, but now we may just do videos like this on my closet floor. Just because it's easier right now with baby girl. Like right now she's napping and she's right next, like in the same room with me. I'm in my closet, but I have a big closet, but my bedroom's right over there. I can hear her. She's within hearing distance, so I can hear if she wakes up. When she's up, I'll probably have her in here with me as I film. It's just easier for me than to have to go into my other room and set up with my lights and everything. So yeah, this will probably be the new setup for a while. In terms of like videos that I'm going to be posting, I honestly don't have a plan. I still plan to do my BoxyCharm boxes that I will be opening them on YouTube again once they come in. I think the last one, I did a TikTok on the last one. I think it was my June box. Yeah, I think it was June. I just did on TikTok. But I will start doing those again. I'll try to have my TikTok name down below, but I would suggest following me on there because I'm going to kind of try to do TikTok as well, because TikTok is definitely a lot easier for me to film, like because it's just on my phone and I can do all the editing and everything from my phone. So I can film a video, edit it, you know, in between taking care of baby girl. It's just a lot easier, whereas YouTube, I have to be it's a bit more time consuming, I'm going to be honest. I have to film, set up, then I have to go to my computer, download the video on there, edit. It's just a lot more steps to it, but I can do it. But the thing is I don't know how often I will be able to post because it's so much more time consuming. So I don't know if I will have an upload schedule. Like before, I would at least try to film and edit a video once a week. I'll try to do that, but honestly, it may be 2 videos a month, you know, a video every other week, I don't know. And I'm honestly not going to put myself on a time schedule because I don't need the extra stress. To be completely honest, baby girl is my #1 priority aside from my husband. Like, my family is my #1 priority, so they're always going to come first. So if I don't have the time to film, I'm not going to film. And that's just kind of, I'm just going to be honest with you guys, that's just the way it's going to be probably for a bit, at least until baby girl gets older. Well, she won't be a baby forever, but, you know, as she gets older and I have more time, then it might become more consistent, but at the same time, it may never be more consistent than what I'm able to do, you know? Like, if that makes sense. I'm probably rambling. I'm sorry. But yeah, so things may look a little different. They probably won't be a consistent upload schedule like I just said. I'm going to try to film mostly beauty content, I think, back on YouTube. TikTok may be more of whatever I feel like doing. Definitely won't be the same stuff. I'll try to post whatever I post on YouTube will be on YouTube only, and then whatever's on TikTok will probably be on TikTok only. So yeah, if you want to follow me on TikTok, you can. Again, I'm going to try to start uploading again, but we'll see how this goes. I feel like she is finally getting to that age where she's not as well, I say clingy, but she is pretty clingy still, but she's getting a little more independent in a way. But yeah, so there's my life update. That's where I've been. I will say that I have definitely missed you guys. It's really weird to be back in front of the camera again, but I have missed you guys, and I'm glad that I'm back. I look forward to uploading again as I can. But yeah, that is going to do it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it all the way to the end, thank you guys for sticking around. I hope I didn't unload too much on you guys, but I did want to give you guys kind of an update and talk about what I've been up to. But yeah, that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Oh my gosh, I don't even know how to end this video. It's been so long. How do I normally end my videos? But yeah, there you go guys, that is going to do it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up because that really does help out my videos. And also let me know down in the comments how you guys have been doing. What have you been up to? Let me know down in the comments because I love chatting with you guys down there. But other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. And I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye! Bye.